Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio on W4HC Radio, where you can learn to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit to reclaim the true potential that exists within you through cutting-edge wellness, tools, and modalities. Here's your host, Sarah Banta.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of 3 teenagers. I believe that your body does want to and is capable of rebuilding and healing itself, regardless of what chronic disease you may have. I'm here for you to answer your questions, bring you innovative and cutting-edge technologies and health solutions to empower you and your ability to reach your optimal state of health. Today, my guest is going to be talking about mental health and intentions. And I know that you really need a strong physical foundation to work on your mental growth. So whether it's overcoming anxiety and depression or just optimizing that growth mindset of yours, you need that strong physical foundation of health. And if you're new to following me, I want you to know I specialize in helping you get there. And you can find health articles and protocols at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. I dive into an array of health conditions, their causes, their symptoms, and how to address them naturally. I've spent thousands of dollars and hours of my own biohacking time to check out the different supplements and the diets so you don't have to. If you have any health conditions you need help with, you can email me directly. I personally read every single one. So now to the good stuff. Tanya Dyer, the Alpha's coach, founded the Stewart Law Firm in 2001. Her law firm specialized exclusively in the practice of high conflict litigation. I would not want to be there. She was known in the media as the happy divorce lawyer. And during her 15 years of active practice, she grew skilled in taking lives and businesses apart and putting them back together. She's now a full-time life and business coach for alpha women, entrepreneurs, speaker, and author. She specializes in strategy for businesses, and she began her second business providing stress and general business coaching solutions in 2008, which became Fearless Focus Coaching. She teaches and coaches on productivity, change, marketing, and small business improvement with a holistic approach. Her energy and drive to help anyone who comes in her path is unmatched, as I've found out myself. As soon as I met her, she gave me homework, knowing that God put her in my life for a reason. Welcome, Tanya. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you. That's so kind. It's so funny. It's really weird to sit and listen to somebody read things about you. You're just like, oh gosh, yeah, I did do that. Oh, yeah, I did that stuff. I'm so excited.
We could go into so many directions. And for everyone out there, she is in Australia, so it's bright and early in the morning, and it's in the afternoon here in the US. But we could go in so many directions, and I know we're going to run out of time. But to start, can you give us a bit about your story, more than what I said, and how you got to where you are now?
Yes. First, I'm going to tell you guys why you want to listen. So if you're driving, pull over. If you got a child, lock them in a bathroom. Do what you have to do, because I'm going to change someone's life today. You can look right in my eyes if you're looking and see that I'm telling you the truth. I'm going to change someone's life today because I'm going to teach you the one thing. See, I'm going to teach you how to reset your mind in 4 critical areas. And in my business, I teach that there is a perfect square of life. To have a perfect square, you have to have health, wealth, love, and mission. And I'm going to teach you that there's a lie in every single corner, and that's going to lead you to the big truth. That's why you want to listen. So let me tell you just really fast how I kind of came to all of this. You heard her mention that I'm the alpha woman coach. I've coached alpha women entrepreneurs for, decades now. I am an alpha. If you're sitting here driving around going, what in the world is an alpha? You know one. This is the woman that if you asked a room, are there any badasses? She would actually raise her hand, okay? She is so much of everything. She's the extreme. If she's fit, she's super fit. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's loud. She's aggressive. She's brilliant. She thinks and processes fast. She can fix anything. Now, alphas have a certain bundle of strengths, but with those strengths come a certain set of challenges. In the process of learning how alphas live and love and the challenges that we specifically have, usually in relationship is the spot where we really kind of lose ourselves. I learned these 4 lies. So I'll give you the brief thing. I told Sarah this. Alphas have a core wound of abandonment. So if you're listening and you're wondering and you're a woman and you're thinking, what's going on? Basically, you've learned to earn love from your dad. You usually have issues with your mom. You're fighting with your daughters. You're making your sons kind of soft. You're probably running a business. You're focused on your money. You're focused on your health. Remember, health and wealth. But your love and your mission are not level. You're out of balance. So that is kind of the backstory of me. And that is what I have come through all of these decades. After 22 years as a high conflict divorce lawyer, I know what destroys relationships and marriages and businesses. And it is now my God-given purpose to fix this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk really fast. You guys are going to have to indulge me because I only have so many minutes and I'm getting you there. So is that okay, Sarah?
Please give it to us.
I have permission, everybody. Boom. We're going to start right away. So perfect square of life: health, wealth, love, mission. Your job as a human being, as a spiritual being, because I'm a spiritual teacher, is to have those things in balance. But as a high achiever, usually you're not in balance. Usually you're really super good at 1 or 2, maybe even 3 of those, but there's usually always one corner that's not up to snuff, one corner that keeps you out of balance. Let's start with the easy one: money. This is your wealth corner. The lie that the world has taught you, and I'm going to say taught you, you didn't learn it, it wasn't passive, the world taught you this, was that if you want money, you go after it, that money makes you happy. So you've heard that before, right, Sarah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, got to go get the money. Okay, so all these lies created a goal in you. So the world taught you a lie, you created a goal, and then you took it and ran with it. The lie is that money makes you happy and you should go after the money. The goal is chase the money. So you have now spent your life, spent your business. Even kids going into college, how do they pick their major? They look to see which job has more money. You see what I mean? They're not like, oh, what would make me fulfilled? What am I brilliant at? What's my superpower? What's my gift? What's my passion? They're like, well, I can't do that because people say that doesn't make a lot of money. That's just that goal of chasing the money. I'm going to tell you right now, you already know it doesn't work because most of you don't have the money that you want. Most of you are actually in some state, actually a lot of you, of financial distress. Even if you have money, you're still compelled by what you've been taught to keep chasing money. Money has never made anybody happy, but yet that lie persists in the wealth corner that you should chase money. Not true. Not true. And we're going to get to lie number 2, which is squarely in Sarah's corner, because this is the health corner, and she is the master of the health corner. She's been helping you guys with your nutrition, helping you get past your blocks, helping you figure out your supplements, because you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your body and your health to get the return out of it. If you're not doing anything to your body, don't expect it to do anything for you. In this corner of health, the lie that you've been taught is that if you're pretty, people love you. If you're beautiful. This translates mostly to women being, if you're thin, you need to be thin. You need to lose weight. If you would just lose weight, this would solve the problem. Everybody would love you. You know that phrase, you can't be too rich or too thin. Look how it puts the 2 corners together, rich and thin, right next to each other. When you are trying to lose weight, and Sarah's going to back me on this one, most people go into it with the wrong intention. You know right where she knows where I'm going. Look at her face. She knows where I'm going on this one. I don't even have to tell her. When you go into this with the intention of, when I lose weight, then I will blank. I will love myself. I will feel better. Then I'll fit my clothes. Then I'll get the promotion. Then I'll have the better sex. When you are putting all of that onto yourself. You are using a fear-based motive to try to get somewhere. And remember, what they taught you is that if you're beautiful and you're thin, you'll have love. So the bad goal that you came up with is to chase weight loss. You go after it. So you go on diet pills, and you go on the cabbage diet and the soup diet and the rock diet and the watermelon diet and the It's Tuesday, eat a carrot diet. And 97% of diets fail. 7. Pretty much that's all of them. Like, I don't even understand who those 3% of people are. I don't know what happened to them. They actually probably accidentally did it right and nobody noticed is what happened. 97% of diets fail. And I'm going to tell you why, because when you understand the truth at the end, you're going to be like, oh, that's why that doesn't work. But it doesn't work. Chasing the money doesn't work, because if it did, you'd have the money. And chasing the weight loss doesn't work, because if it did, you would get and stay thin. You can get thin, but then you get heavy again. And you yo-yo. Mm-hmm. And you beat yourself up. By the way, I'm going to give you the right goal on this one. The right goal for this is to pursue your health. Yeah. You want to be healthy. If you go after being healthy, I promise you will lose weight as a byproduct. I've taught you these 2 lies to show you something. There's a law I've discovered, and I call it the law of indirect action. And it basically sums up to, if you chase it, it'll run. If you chase it, it will run.
Is that like your children?
Yeah. Oh my God. So see, she's the mom of 3. She knows exactly what we're talking about here, right? It's like, if you chase it, it will run. If you chase the money will run. You won't get it, or you'll get it and then you'll have it and then something will happen and then you'll have to something again. If you chase the weight loss, it'll flee. You're chasing the love is what you're doing. You can't chase love. Mm-hmm. You can't chase it. So Sarah, do you see this in the people that you're helping?
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time, you want to get healthy to lose weight, not to lose weight to get healthy, and to focus on their health. And and I tell my kids, as far as what they want to do in life, find something you love, the money will come. Don't chase the money. And it's something that I've had a hard time, it took me till I was 44 to figure this out. I mean, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. And you could put me into work mode 24/7. We'll get to that later. But because I love what I do. But when I started in the workforce, I hated my job. Could not wait till 5 p.m. because I wanted out of there.
Yep. Oh my God. So Sarah, you're brilliant. So she said something that I forgot to say. So look at that. Look how God works. The universe works so perfectly. Sarah said something that's really important when I'm teaching you about that bad goal of chasing money. Those old sayings have such wisdom in them, and they survived so long because they have such deep truth in them. There's a saying that you don't like, and it's, do what you love and the money will follow. And you talk to these people who are you're like, Oprah, could you give us some advice? Do what you love and the money will follow. And you're like, okay. And you're like, oh, Sir Richard Branson, Ariana Huffington, woman that created Spanx. She's a billionaire. Tell us how to get there. Do what you love and the money will follow. It's annoying. You want to hit them or choke them because you're like, I don't see the connection. Understand that the goal for money is to find a pursuit that you love, that as a byproduct generates money. Byproduct, indirect. If you go after it directly by the law of indirect action, if you chase it, it'll run. So when you're doing what you love, the money can flow very easily because your anxiety, your blocks, your fears, your worry, all of that is not attaching because you're in love with what you're doing. I'm in love with what I'm doing. I'm in love with what I'm doing. This isn't a hunt for money. This is a hunt for eyeballs and a hunt for ears. The more eyes and ears I have to teach what I've discovered and what God has given me to share, well, yeah, I'll have money. That's the byproduct. I'm chasing your epiphany. I'm chasing your revelation. I'm chasing your breakthrough. If you chase what you love, Sarah's teaching this to her 3 kids. If they chase what they love, if they go after what they love, the money will follow. If you love yourself as you are, the weight will come off. This is good stuff. All right. Okay. So I'm so excited to teach. Can you tell? I get excited.
I love it. I'm soaking it.
Okay, so we're going to go now. Lie number 3. Remember, lie number 1 is if you want money, you should go after it. Bad goal, chase the money. Do what you love. And number 2, oh my goodness, everyone will love you if you're thin. Everyone will love you if you're beautiful. The bad goal is lose the weight. Be healthy. Number 3, remember, we're talking about all our famous people. When we talk about our famous, super successful people that we kind of idolize and we have as kind of a virtual mentor, what we're taught about them is that these ultra successful people have work-life balance, that they are balanced. That Ariana Huffington wakes up and she makes a full meal for her children. And then she does 6 corporate meetings and teleconferences with Taiwan. And then probably she vacuums the rugs and the carpets and maybe gets the windows a good clean because it's nice to have the home be orderly. And then maybe she homeschools her kids for 4 or 5 hours because that seems like a good thing to do. And then she's behind a door with her husband and she's doing the thing that he likes. And she's doing it in exactly the way he likes. And everybody is just working it, that her health, her wealth, her love, and her mission, the 4 square, the perfect square of her life, is all perfectly in balance and everything is perfect. BS. It's not true. Sarah, have you found this to be true?
Not one person. It's so ironic. Everyone is trying to find balance and it doesn't exist.
It does not. It does not. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to help you today. If you're listening to this today, this may be your big breakthrough. If this is the only thing you get from this, fantastic, awesome, take it like this. The balance that the world has been teaching you to seek is static. Static meaning it's not moving. It means that if you work really hard, and remember, alphas are geared for hard work. We are wired for struggle. Oh my God, do we love some struggle? We are the queens and masters of it. So we love this idea of chasing. We love chasing. We want to chase the work-life balance because we want to force all the corners to be in balance. Static balance doesn't exist in the universe anywhere. Everything is in change. Everything is in flux. Your body is not in balance. You don't have the same bones that you had 7 years ago. You don't have the same blood that you had a couple of weeks ago. Everything is in flow. So here's the way you want to understand work-life balance. You want to understand it like a juggler. I'm going to have to learn to juggle at some point. So these are the balls. We got the health ball, the wealth ball, got the love ball, and our mission. A juggler, when they're juggling, maybe you have your health ball. So you're working with Sarah, you got the health ball, and you're focused on it, and you throw the health ball up. While you throw the health ball up, guess what's going on to the wealth ball, the mission ball, and everything else? It's dropping. It's falling. And that's okay. That's okay. That's the way it's supposed to go. The real story is that the people that we idolize, when they go to focus on their wealth and their business, they're not a good wife. They're not the best husband. They're not doing super homeschooling. They're not cooking, a full stew with 7 vegetables and they got their free range chicken and they're out getting the eggs, and they're not doing that. They're focusing on that ball and they get that ball back up. And once that ball's back up, then they go to the next ball. That's work-life balance. Work-life balance is a flow. It's a juggle. Stop trying to get yourself to a point, to a destination where you get to stop. You get to stop when you die. There is no stopping.
And that's so hard for us to understand. I sometimes will actually get anxious if I don't have enough to do, if I don't have enough struggle, because I want to fix it. I want to keep going. I want to take, that's when I start getting on my kids a little more. Did you do this? Did you do that? And really try to manage and control things a little more. But something that you said, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I've got a lot of people gurus that I listen to all day long, every single day. But I have to tell you, there are quite a few of them that will just disappear. And they'll say before they disappear, I'm taking some time off. My family has suffered. And so they switch that ball. And it's really nice to see. And then they'll show back up.
That's it. Oh, you're I want you all to know, by the way, that Sarah is such an awesome person that she agreed to let me teach this to her live instead of me telling her all of this beforehand. So she's just learning it with you. And I want you to notice the wonderful flow of observations, because this is how the universe works. The universe is on your side. It's working for you. If you're listening to this, you're supposed to be listening to this. You maybe didn't know why you're here. You maybe didn't have time. If you came in late, don't worry about it. You will hear what you're supposed to hear. You can go back and rewind. You can make sure you can get it on her Facebook, on my Facebook, on YouTube. It's all over the place, you know. I want you to understand. I'm gonna go into something she said because I'm watching my time and I can do this. Alphas, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. When an alpha is stressed and a high achiever is stressed, her default is control. That is what soothes the alpha soul. Oh my God, I did do that rhyme. Let's call that. Let's just call that right there. You see the rhymes coming here. That's an awesome rhyme. When an alpha is stressed, she goes into control because it soothes her very soul. So when you are an alpha, what's happening is you're wired for struggle. Because you had that core abandonment wound, you don't know how to trust. You breached trust. Your family screwed something up. So you learn that there is no trust, there is no safety except if you do it. You become this fiercely independent person, which makes it very hard for you to receive help and ask for help. And you are wired for difficult situations. So when a difficult situation comes up, you roll up your mental sleeves and you dive in. People love you because you can solve anything, you can fix anything. And raise your hand, alphas, wherever you are, unless you're driving, you need 2 hands on the wheel. You're a rescuer. Alphas rescue. Yeah, Sarah raised her hand. Alphas rescue. We can't help it. Like we're in our boat and we're cruising along and we see somebody in the water. We're like, okay. What you have to learn is that there are people who are on your frequency or your wheelhouse or your gift or your flock. And those are your people. And if you rescue other people, you will exhaust yourself. Mm-hmm. I liken it to this idea where I'm in my boat. I only rescue people who are trying to swim. If you're just drowning, if you've given up, you're not my person. I say this woman named Wendy. There's some woman named Wendy that gets those people. I don't know where she is. I'll send her back for you. But if I see you and you're like floating limp in the water, if I try to get you on my boat, what'll happen is I'll distract myself. I'll get off focus. I will drop all of my balls, health, wealth, love, and mission. And I will do all of this for you. You won't want the help. You'll be mad at me and I'll mess myself up. So common. That's a bad goal, by the way. That goal, by the way, I'll just tell you, I'm teaching it because this is coming up. That is an alpha wanting people to be needing her so she can secure the love. Remember, we have an abandonment issue. Because we have an abandonment issue, we're always looking for ways to make our love secure, to keep them from leaving. I don't want you to leave me. Please stay, love me, don't leave me. So if we get somebody who's needy, if we get somebody who's broken, if we get somebody who always needs our rescue, needs our strength, needs our skill set, ta-da! So this is kind of how we work. This is how we operate. And this is perfect. This is a perfect segue because it's going to lead me into line number 4, which is the big one. Because now we're getting to the one thing. And see, look how Sarah started to smile because I wouldn't tell her what the one, she's like, what's the one, like, Tanya, what? I'm the host. I'm like, what's the one thing? Tell it to me. So what life has taught you, remember, they taught you chase the money, chase the weight loss, chase the work-life balance. What life has taught you is that people are there to make you happy. People should make you happy. Other people, their job is to make you happy. And very specifically, your spouse. So I do the art of self-rescue right now. I'm all over you need to find me anywhere. It's art of self-rescue, anything. Art of self-rescue is the art of saving yourself. And I focus on marriages, high achievers, transforming stressful marriages. And why do we need to do this? Because you have been taught that your spouse is supposed to make you happy. That lets the bad goal of chasing control. And remember, what did Sarah say? Control. We're the control freaks. We like it. It makes us happy. Oh, if you can't see me, I'm doing a little dance. I look like the gopher from Caddyshack. If you don't know that movie, you're younger than me. So I can't help you Google it or something. If you Google gopher and Caddyshack, you'll get the visual. It'll be fine. Chasing control. Chasing control. So here we go, you guys. I'm going to now teach you the one thing. Now, you need to understand that anything that is profound is extremely simple. Anything that is profound is extremely simple. So, demands never change behavior. 4 words. This is what I call the law of behavior. It is the one thing that you really need to know that will shift everything. Look back. We have the law of indirect action. When we see chasing money, chasing weight loss, chasing work-life balance, chasing control, all of those don't work because you're going after something directly, and when whatever you're chasing is running from you. This leads us to the law of behavior. The law of other people's behavior states that demands never change behavior. Why is this huge? I'm going to tell you. Let's use weight loss, and Sarah's going to love this one. A diet. Remember we talked about a diet fails 97% of the time?
Right.
The reason it fails is because you are putting a demand on yourself to change your behavior without changing your underlying belief. Diets fail because you're changing an outside, external, on top, surface level behavior without doing anything about the underlying belief. Oh, I got goosebumps. That's good. That's God. Beliefs determine behavior. Period. Close quote. In a discussion. You will always act consistent with your belief. If you are trying to change even yourself, even your own behavior, you cannot do it unless you actually shift your belief. Does that make sense, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about wealth and relationships and in every category, not just health.
In everything. This is why this is such a bam. It's the thing that, and when you see it, it kind of freaks you out, especially, like I said, when I help people with marriages. I mean, I'm a marriage recovery expert. If you're a high achiever, if you're an alpha, there's not a better person on the planet to help you with this than me, because I get you. I get all of the origin of you, and I get how when you get in this relationship, what you're doing. Your goal is to save the marriage if your marriage is in trouble. And please listen to me, sweetheart. That is the wrong goal. That goal, save the marriage, is a euphemism for make my husband change so that things can be better. Right. Change my wife's behavior so that we don't fight. It's changing another person. It is a veiled way of trying to control your spouse. You're trying to change their behavior. And the law says demands never change behavior. You cannot demand somebody into changing their behavior if it's already aligned with their belief. Like these behind me, these wonderful poles, I built this bookshelf. These are beliefs. If these are your beliefs, these beliefs will always stand there. They're your subconscious beliefs. You can't shift them consciously. So, Sarah, have you ever done some stuff? You've probably done some stuff with subconscious and conscious stuff, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. But I have to say, this is making me think back to my pre-marriage counseling class at church when the minister said, if your husband or wife is squeezing the toothpaste from the middle, don't expect them to change with time. It's not going to happen. And my husband and I looked at each other. We weren't married at the time, because I squeeze it from the top, the bottom, the middle. I don't care. And he squeezes it from the bottom. So we have our own toothpaste, right?
You solved it.
Things that you fight about in the beginning, they don't change unless you change it, right?
This is, oh my God, you were so, God, you're feeding me. This is so perfect. One of the examples I use is my husband bites his nails. I think that's icky. Like I think it's it makes me all and he's just like he's hungry. Like I look at my husband, I'm like, was there not enough dinner? Like, did I not? Do you need a snack? Are you hungry? Here's the trick. My belief, you go back over here for me, is that is gross, it's unsanitary, it's creepy, it's icky. That's not his belief. His belief is over here. It's something different. It's like, well, it's fine. It's not an issue. For him, it's easier. It's faster. It's bothering him. He solves it. He probably doesn't even think it's any of my business, honestly. What you understand is that if I make a request or a demand against that belief of his, he can change if he wants to, but only temporarily. So in marriages, what you see is a yo-yo. Just like in your dieting, you see a yo-yo. Just like in your money, you see a yo-yo. In your business, you see a yo-yo. In your work-life balance, you see the yo-yo. You see the change, and it happens temporarily, and then it falls off. Let me tell you why it does that. Your subconscious beliefs control. I have an advanced clinical certification in hypnotherapy, and I'm getting a PhD in metaphysics. So if that helps anybody understand why I can say all this stuff, there you go. Your subconscious controls you 95% of the time. You're only in your conscious choices 5% of the time. When you ask your husband to stop biting his nails, or Sarah learned not to ask her husband to stop squeezing the toothpaste, $4, new tube, solved, brilliant. When you ask him to stop squeezing the toothpaste, in his conscious mind, he's like, this is not a big deal. I love my wife. Yeah, I'll not pay attention to the way she's doing it, or I'll do it differently. Your subconscious mind is where your beliefs reside, and it's driving 95% of the time. So when he's not paying attention, when he relaxes and goes into his default is the toothpaste should be squeezed from the bottom because he's orderly. And she's an alpha. Alphas are forces of nature. We're all over the place. We actually have kind of an innate sense of order, but it doesn't look like it necessarily to people from the outside. And some alphas can be hyper organized, but Sarah and I are on the let it flow side. We're on the more artistic side, I guess. So she doesn't care where she squeezed. She just needs toothpaste. Right. You're not going to change that belief in him by demand. The one thing that's important that you understand is that you cannot change another person, and you cannot change your spouse by making a demand where their behavior is not already in alignment with what you're asking.
And I would extend this to mothering children. If I demand something of my kids, they're not going to listen. If I explain the why and try to indirectly tell them why you don't want to do it the way you're doing it, and they then start believing in that belief, that's a different story. And this is a hard lesson that I had to learn, but things weren't going in the right direction. And of course, my son, being the oldest, is the one that I'm making all the mistakes with. But it's the same thing, correct?
You were so brilliant. I promise you. You would think, like, I'm like slipping little pieces of paper to Sarah. I'm like, okay, Australia, right over there. It disappears. It's coming up. And you're just like, give me an example about kids. That's perfect. Do you understand? It's every single aspect of your life this applies to. When you actually peel it back and look at it, you start realizing, hey, wait a second. Like you have a kid with a messy room. You have a kid with a messy room, and your core belief on this is that you need, like your husband's belief would be, that room needs to be, tidy. It needs to be ship shape. It needs to be squared away. This is disrespectful. It's unorganized. It's Your child may not have that belief. When you go from this understanding, if you have to have this conversation, have the conversation more on the, like Sarah was saying, on the belief level. It's like, what do you think? Ask the person first you're trying to get at their core belief. Try to figure out what it is they actually believe. And here, I'll give you a secret. You already know what they believe by what they're doing.
Right.
You don't technically need to ask, but you can ask them, hey, what do you think about rooms? And your child's going to tell you, I just don't think it's any big deal. It just doesn't bother me. Now, there's probably somewhere in their life that they are very orderly. It's not the room, but there's somewhere else that they're very orderly, and they think that's very important. If you're trying to change someone else's behavior, the biggest thing I'm going to tell you, especially when it's your spouse, you change you. What I teach in the art of self-rescue is the surest way to save your marriage is to save you first. There is a law, and you can be spiritual or biblical. It doesn't matter, but it works the same way. You can go with the law of as within, so without. Whatever's going on inside of you is what you see outside of you. Okay? The issues of biblical is the issues of the heart become the issues of your life. It's just the same thing. When you are trying to create order outside of you, when you're trying to create peace, money, harmony, balance outside of you, you must be balanced inside of you. If your marriage is out of balance, what you tend to do, because the world has told you that your spouse owes you happiness and is supposed to help you and is supposed to fix you and is supposed to love you and is supposed to do all this stuff. They're basically supposed to feather your nest. You're chasing that control. What you have to do is go inside and get yourself squared, get yourself clean, get yourself balanced, get yourself ordered. The rule is, I'm so sorry, nobody is responsible for your happiness. You are an independent human being, an independent eternal soul. Nobody is responsible for your happiness. And in marriage, we go into our marriages, and really, if we told the truth, our vows would be like, do you promise whenever I feel lonely, afraid, distraught, or upset, that you'll abandon what you're doing and come join me in my misery and then cheer me up? Like, that's the vow. I mean, I wrote some stuff, but kind of that's what I think I wanted. I wanted, especially in alpha, we are looking for somebody, because remember, nobody has our back. We have this feeling that it's us against the world. There's nobody that understands us or gets us or really will support us. We want that ride or die person. We're super, super looking for that emotional support. And women are wired, by the way, highest need for a woman is security. Mm-hmm. Highest need, security. And for you men that are listening, your highest need is actually respect. It is actually not love. You can have a marriage where you don't love your husband, but if you respect him, he's good. He'll be all right. So these needs, these gender needs are different. And when you throw control in there, it gets really super messy, because as the alpha is trying to control her husband, oftentimes, by the way, an alpha tends to marry a man eventually who's softer, who's a beta. And that's my specialty, alpha beta marriages. You got the strong kind of driving high achiever, and it could be the man. And then you got the male over there, and he's more laid back. He has to be, otherwise he would kill us. He would kill us. Right. And by the way, Sarah, I want to congratulate you, because you guys have been married almost 20 years, right?
Right. Going on 19.
Oh my God, woman. That is such an accomplishment. Just everybody stop and do a little air clap for Sarah, because in general, for marriages, that is a huge accomplishment. Given what I know, 80% of marriages are struggling in some way. They're sexless, they're stressed, they're roommates. They're like, okay, I go to work, I make this money, you make this money, we put this money together, we do this for the kids, we go to soccer, we get to football, we do this. Do we have enough to take the one vacation? Oh, somebody got sick. This is what there's all of this stuff going on, and all of the sexy goo is out of it. All the intimacy is out of it. And then you're looking, and so what are you trained to do? Everything in life has trained you. Chase the money, chase the weight loss, chase the work-life balance, chase control. So you chase trying to fix it. You chase saving the marriage. You chase trying to get it back. You can't do it that way. Mm-mm. You cannot. You have to fix you. The balancing is in you. That is the one thing. The goal of any goal that's outside of you, I promise you it won't work. In fact, actually, I'll tell you this one, Sarah, because this is good. The way life works, we're live. I had a client text me just this morning, and usually I don't read text before I do a broadcast, because who knows what could be in there. It could be some crazy stuff, and I could get all. But no, she sends me this text, and she's like, "Well, gosh, I'm trying to understand how it is that I can be in a situation where I'm trying to be of service, but I still have resistance. Like, I'm trying to make my money. I'm trying to be bigger. Like, Sarah, you're in service. Mm-hmm. You love this because this is your service. This is your flock. These are your people. You had a health crisis. You figured it out. By the way, your mess always becomes your message. This is, whether you believe in God or source, spirit, Christ, universe, doesn't matter. Purple Lotus, whatever that is, tends to use our life as our curriculum. So we go through it, and when we get ourselves dragged out of it, gasping and panting, we stop ourselves from drowning. That's when we double back for everybody else. That's how that works. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I didn't plan this, but I'm having a good time. And Sarah's being so good. She's just listening, and I totally hijacked her show. So
no, I'm soaking it up. I'm loving this. This is free therapy.
You're so awesome. Here's the secret. The secret is it all comes down to self. The meaning of life, if you just want to know, I didn't plan to share it. It's just joy. That's it. Joy, joy, period. I want you to understand that struggle is suspicious in life. It's just joy. So all of you who are out there who you want to help the women and help the children and help the pandas and help the puppies and improve the politics and save the trees and and I really do want to help the whales. I think the whales are getting like the shaft, honestly. Help the whales. If you don't drill that back down to you, it won't work. You have to drill it back down to you. Otherwise, technically, you're really still chasing something outside of you. Mm-hmm. So when you are, like Sarah, helping people with their health, yes, it's lovely to help them. And yes, you see them thrive. And yes, you save homes and businesses and marriages, because if people don't have their health, they have nothing. They have nothing. That needs to be brought back to your joy, Sarah, your joy. You do this because it lights you up.
It does.
There you go. That's the boom. I wasn't even planning on doing that. You know, you understand that this makes you happy. This is what I do. You can tell it from me. This is what lights me up. The idea that there's someone listening to this right now that hadn't had the thought, crap, you know what? Do what you love, the money will follow. That's not a stupid comment. I can sit and figure this out. Or shoot, why am I chasing weight loss? Don't chase weight loss. Chase health. Do health. Do your health. You lose weight. Work-life balance. Stop trying to be this perfect person. You know, rich people have messy cars. People with really clean cars sometimes are really poor. You know, it just, let yourself be in flux. And when it comes to control, give it up. And oh my God, I know that's so hard for alphas because it's our default programming to control when we're stressed, but you cannot control another person. Demands never change behavior. If you, by the way, someone's probably thinking because you're smart. Well, Tanya, I've asked my husband something and I made a demand. By the way, any request, whatever you want to call it, demand. I made the demand and he changed. That is because whatever you asked him was already aligned with his beliefs. Do you understand? So people are like, oh, no, this law, this holds. I'm sorry, the law of behavior holds. If people are going along with your demands, it is because subconsciously they wanted to. Subconsciously, you're not pushing them.
So I have a lot of, I'd say, well, actually, I wouldn't say it's one or the other, but I have a lot of people come to me and say, I need to make these changes in my diet. And I believe that this is going to get me healthy for whatever reason it is. But what do I do, Sarah? Because my husband or my wife won't do it with me. All I say is, well, with me, my husband was the most skeptical, stubborn person ever when it came to his health. So I just showed him and I got results. Do what you're going to do and show them your results, because that way you're changing their beliefs. You're not asking them to change, but you're changing their internal beliefs on what will get them healthy, and they'll come around.
You're my buddy. She's my twin. You were doing it. Oh, wait, which way is your box? I think your box is this way. No, your box is this way. You understand how this works. In a marriage, that's struggling, that's stressful, that doesn't have the sex, the intimacy, the connection, where you have an alpha and a beta, whether it's male or female. What happens is that you've grown apart. There's a space between you because one person is pushing and then one person is running, because remember, if you chase it, it'll flee. Law of indirect action. If you chase it, it'll flee. And what she's telling you is that, you guys, you can have what you want if you do it for yourself first. Because in those marriages that are struggling, that are stressed, it's two people drowning. Never in the history of ever has one drowning person saved another drowning person. Somebody drowning has looked over and went, I'm drowning too. I'm going to stop drowning, like just for a second. and come save you. That's what you want. That's the control you're looking for. You're like, oh my God, husband, this is your fault. You upset me. You did this. You did it. Come save me. You need to actually save yourself. The art of self-rescue is about the art of self-rescue. I teach people how to save themselves. When you save yourself, you make space. You actually stop pulling at your spouse. You stop pulling at your business partner. You start pulling at your children. You stop pulling and pushing at everybody. In that space, they see your change. They see you start to come into balance, health, wealth, love, mission. They see you become happy without requiring them to give it to you. That gives them the very best incentive for them to do their work. But the trick is you have to be willing to do your own internal work, regardless of what the hell they're doing. And in the beginning, I promise you, they're not going to be doing anything. They're going to be in the same drowning place. They're going to be splashing and making noise and probably blaming you and being unsupportive and resistant. And this is true of teenagers, husbands, wives, business partners. It's true of everybody. When you get the demands don't change behavior, you understand that you have to go into your beliefs and shore yourself up, get yourself into balance, make room for the other people around you, and everything outside of you will change.
So I know we're running out of time a little bit, and this is such a big question that I want to ask you. So we might need to just have a whole nother episode on this one question. But how do you then, understanding all of that, how do you then teach yourself that I don't need to earn love after a lifetime of living that?
Yes. Okay. This is awesome. Great question. I got this. This is why I talk fast. The people who
got 1 minute.
The people who listen to podcasts and go really fast, this is good. The thing you want to do, 80% of it is you just have to notice it. The trick that ego does to you is it convinces you that there's no problem. If an alpha knows there's a problem, she will solve it. You just have to realize that it's a problem that you're trying to earn love. Love is a gift. It is freely given. God gives you love freely. By the way, alphas don't trust God. Go figure. Don't trust God. Don't trust themselves. Don't trust their husband. See the snowball. You need to relax into the idea that love is freely given. You don't have to earn it, and be okay with the people who appear to love you less in the short term when you stop pushing and demanding, because that's what you're afraid of.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh, Tanya, we've got to do this again. We barely have scratched the surface. And I want everybody to know that Tanya has given us a free, graciously offered a free ebook and a 90-minute call with her. Definitely take her up on it. It will be the most life-changing 90 minutes of your life. I can promise you that. It was for me, and I'm still letting it all soak in. I've told so many of my close friends and my husband about what I experienced through my call with you. It's just been, you truly are a magician, and so amazing with your work. I've never met anyone like you, and I've met a lot of people trying to do what you're doing. So I definitely know what your competition is. Before I ask my last question, can you tell people where to find you?
Yes, you can find me at The Art of Self-Rescue. Use it on Facebook, use it on Instagram, at the email Art of Self-Rescue Gmail. And to get your book, it's a mini book, and in about 20 minutes will change your life, because I'll teach you the one thing no one will tell you. Go to fearlessfocuscoaching.com/one thing. ONETHING.
Amazing. So my last question.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 things that you do or focus on every single day to accelerate your body, your mind, and your spirit?
Oh, this is such an excellent question. Okay, number 1, I have what I call my morning books. So the very first thing I do in the morning is I have a spiritual book. I have a gratitude journal. Well, I write the things that I am grateful for and the 3 things that I'm focusing on that day. So I do my morning books. I do a little bit of meditation. That is how I start my day. That is on lock. The number 2 thing I do is I do a reset. So I'll keep like a little alarm, set an alarm on your phone for 2 o'clock. Just let it go off. And then at 2 o'clock, reset yourself. If your day is going great, re-up it. If your day is going sideways, change the energy. Just go, oh, now we're going to change it. It's almost like you get 2 days in one. You just start your day over at 2 o'clock and pick a time. If 2 o'clock doesn't work for you, it doesn't make any difference. You know, and I would say, is that good for you? Yeah.
No, I love it. Yeah.
And one of the last things that I do is I catch myself in my self-talk. I don't have to do this anymore, but I will give this, guys, to you. It's very powerful. This is a cheap change your life. Put a rubber band on your wrist. Every time you say some dumb shit, snap it. When you catch yourself saying craziness and tomfoolery, negativity, when you catch yourself in the chasing money, chasing weight loss, chasing love, controlling people work, snap your rubber band. It'll start to break the cycle. All you want to do is notice it. Remember, 80% of your change will come from noticing it, because then it can't sneak by you in your subconscious.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I am going to be doing that number 2. I already do number 1. I'm going to be doing number 2 because I love the fact that you have that reset. There's so many days when things just don't start out right, and and if it is starting out right, to up that day. I love that. So thank you, Tanya, so much. We are going to do this again. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. If I can help you with your health issues, contact me directly, Sarah at Accelerated Health Products. I'm happy to put together a protocol for you. I know sometimes it's hard to know where to start. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and my YouTube channel under Accelerated Health Radio. You can also find this episode and all my episodes on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, Pandora, or whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. I also now do Accelerated Health Bites, where I do short informational videos about health topics and solutions that you ask me about. So if you have a condition or a topic you want me to address, let me know. And if you like what you heard today, please hit the subscribe button and share this with a few of your friends who may need my help or Tanya's. As you share my channel, it helps me help more people like you and bring more cutting edge guests on the show. Don't miss next week's interview with Joe and Destiny from Cure and For, where we are going to talk about Destiny's personal journey through addiction. This is something that a lot of people are suffering with right now, and I want you to know there is a way to overcome it on your own. So again, you can find any of the natural supplements and many of the informational videos on my website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com, and you can use coupon W4HC20 for 20% off site-wide. And thanks again for joining us today on Accelerated Health Radio. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Make sure to tune in every week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to uncover your highest potential through natural and innovative wellness modalities.
Is anybody there?
I'm here.
Are you wanting to optimize your physical, mental, and emotional health? Visit www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Accelerated Health Products to detox, reset, and rebuild your immune system naturally, and to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit with cutting-edge supplements and solutions. Get Sarah Banta's personal advice on a protocol just right for you. That's www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com.
Hello.
Okay, lady, you are clear.
All righty. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Tanya.
Yay!
And you were amazing. You were an amazing guest.
Yeah,
What's
she is.
I love your energy, and I love what you talk about.
I do too.
It was good. I was just happy. I was excited to see. I'm always excited to see what God will give me, like what direction I'll end up going, because it just surprises me. I'm like, oh, look what came out of my mouth.